afternoon guys, my name's Becky. I am Becky B Crafty here on YouTube and over on Instagram, and welcome to Flosstube. Oh, number 7, I didn't check. I've got my notebook here but I'm out of practice because it's been that long I didn't check before I sat down. This is my cosy little nook, part of the internet where I share all my crafting projects, mainly cross stitch, and show off my progress on what I've been working on. So, thank you if you watched my last video. It was in the new year when I did it last, and if you remember, I was very bold about saying, oh yeah, I'm going to keep up with the 2 weekly schedule. Yeah, it's been about 3, nearly 4 weeks now. Life happened. I've had appointments for me, we've had parents' evening for my youngest, I work in primary school, I've said that before, and without naming, I will just say that we have had the visitors in that no education establishments likes to get. So yeah, that was very, very stressful. I've had a really, really bad cold. I'm still a bit sniffly and a bit chesty and things at the moment, but I'm a lot better than I have been. My voice doesn't keep disappearing anymore. So I apologise if there are any weird cuts or anything like that. It will probably be because I've had to cut it to blow my nose. But I'm trying not to. I'm hoping I should be okay. So yeah, it's been a long time since I spoke to you all last. Lots of things have happened, few life updates and things, but I will do them at the end when we get on to plans. Are you coming over? Cat sat on the chair arm just staring at me, not sure if he's going to jump over or not. Nope, he's decided to sit down on the chair arm now. If you've watched before, you'll know that he normally jumps from the chair arm over to the sofa where I'm sitting and then walks around the back to get to the window ledge. But no, he's decided he's sitting down for now. He might make an appearance in a little while. So, hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's having a good January. It is January the 27th at the moment, but it feels like January the 495th. As January always does, but then February will go really, really fast, and so will the rest of the year probably. January just seems like the longest month going, doesn't it? So we'll start, as I normally start off, with the Flosstubers that I've been watching and do a few shout outs for other people, so that if you've not watched any of these people before, you can go and check them out, but I'm sure you will have. So January is a really, really good time for finding new Flosstubers and for reconnecting with some older Flosstubers as well, because it is Whip Parade and Finish Parade time normally in January. I think I said in my last video, I'm not doing a Whip Parade because I only joined Flosstube and started posting videos back in September, and I did a full Whip Parade then. And most of those whips haven't had much work done on them, I will admit, but I am doing Wipgo this year, and all of my bigger whips excuse me, all of my bigger whips are on Wipgo so that I can try and get some progress made on them this year. And I've already got some brilliant progress on some of them, which I will be showing you. So people who have been doing whip parades and finish parades as well, I love to see finish parades and see how people have been finishing things. Rachel, who is Talking Dog Stitcher, she's done a whip parade. She's had some lovely, lovely whips in hers. And Rachel, if you do end up watching this, quite a lot of yours are not that far off finishing. So I think you probably could do with just getting on with some of them and getting some of them finished. But as Rachel says, it's I think it's Rachel that said it's more about the journey for her and the actual stitching sometimes than the finish piece, which is absolutely fine. People stitch for different reasons. Stitching with Charlie, it's the first time she's been back in a while. I know Charlie has a lot of health issues and things like that, so it's lovely when I see Charlie's name pop up on my subscriptions that she's done a new video, because that means that she's obviously having a bit of a good run of things with her health, and she's managed to do a whip parade. She's got some beautiful projects as well. Ellie, Stitching Bee, has done a finish parade and a whip parade, 2 separate videos. Ellie's got some beautiful finishers. I mean, Ellie is where I take a lot of my inspiration from, of trying to finish things in different ways. So trying to get all the different things that you wouldn't normally think for mounting cross stitch on, like wooden trays and things like that. A lot of the bargains, tips, and a lot of the places that Ellie gets a lot of her cross stitch mounting things from, I've picked up from Ellie in the past. So definitely go and check those out. Stuart's in stitches. I don't know if Stuart's actually done a whip parade. I didn't see one over the Christmas period or anything. But Stuart's in stitches, sorry. He posts a video every Sunday unless he's like away on holiday or busy or at a retreat or something. And Stuart does temperature stitching. So he takes I think it's the highest temperature from the BBC weather app or weather website each day, and the ones digit, so the units digit, he takes that and each number is assigned to a cross stitch between 0 to 9. So he lives in Scotland as well, so he gets quite a lot of varied temperatures up there. Which means that he stitches on a lot of different projects throughout the week. And as he said himself, he loves the temperature stitching because you can get such a range of temperatures, which means that you're stitching on different things all the time. And he's getting loads of progress on some of his temperature stitches. I like watching Stuart because he also has started at the beginning of the year a lovely big Stranger Things cross stitch. It's one of like the season posters with all the faces and everything on. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing Stuart's progress on that and how that comes along. Stitching with my little Kayla and Lauren, they did a finish parade, which was absolutely chaotic, which is no less than we come to expect from you guys, Kayla and Lauren. You had me in stitches the whole way through, pardon the pun. It was absolutely hilarious. Picking up problems with each other and picking on each other about things, and I think it was the Royal Mail van reversing into their drive that they could see out of the window and all sorts of things. But yeah, it's never a dull moment when you're watching Kayla and Lauren. I love watching their videos, and they had some beautiful finishes as well. Really, really lovely finishes. Amy, the Nutty Nerdy Needle, has done a whip parade as well, and Amy's got so many full coverage projects. I could not have that many full coverage projects on the go. And she manages to stitch on them all as well and see lots of progress. Amy does lots of different sort of games and activities and things based around the stitching to enable her to sort of randomly choose lots of her different projects and then work on them. So it's always lovely to see what progress Amy's made. She's also actually got a couple of patterns from Thread Geeks before they retired a lot of their collection at the end of December that I have got as well. So Amy, if you end up watching this, I've already started the Labyrinth one. That was one of my Wipgo calls for this month, so we could always do a bit of a progress or stitch along with that. And I have got the Mummy one to show off that arrived over the new year as well. So if you ever start them, it will be lovely to match progress up and see how we both tackle those massive, huge projects. And then finally, Lauren Cross Stitch Bunny did a lovely whip parade as well, and Lauren's always got lots of gorgeous projects. She's got a lot of Bella Filipinas on the go, a lot of the fancy ladies and things. I've only got one fancy lady on the go, and it has been worked on a lot this month because it was called for one of my Wipgo numbers. I've got another couple of fancy ladies to start, but I'm trying to hold off on starts until it says starting new starts on my Wipgo board, because I'm really trying to be good and make progress on some of my other bigger whips. So all those Flosstubers I've mentioned, I will link them down below so that if you haven't watched them before or you haven't subscribed to them, you can go and give their videos a watch and a like and subscribe and share the stitchy love. So let's get on to some stitching. I might just have to have a quick drink of water. Oh, and I've picked the coaster up with it because my glass was wet. Nice cold drink of water to keep my voice going. So, I have worked on 4 projects this month. I don't know why it's just gone dark all of a sudden. Sorry, I knocked the camera then. It just went really dark all of a sudden. It is dark outside, but I've got the lights and things on. Actually, bear with 1 second. That might be a little bit better because I've got the living room lights on, but we've just got 2 like sconce lights on the opposite wall to me. We don't have a big ceiling light, but the living room's joined onto the living room, so to the dining room. So I'm just going to put the dining room light on as well. So that might help with the lighting situation a bit because it's pretty grim out there today. Pretty grim. It's rained all day. playground where I work was flooded, so we've been stuck inside with the kids all day, which was great, not. And yeah, it's just miserable and horrible, so I'm going to get this video filmed. I'm going to go and get into my nice, warm, fleecy, comfy pyjamas, and then I'm going to snuggle up on the sofa with my youngest and watch some TV and do some stitching, because husband's at work, he's on lates today, so he's not back until about 9:30 tonight. So it's just me and the little one today. So, as I was saying, I've worked on 4 projects this month. 2 of them are my Wipgo projects. Another one of them was a whip. It's gone dark again. I don't know what's going on. It's really weird. I do apologise if it's off-putting or not very bright, but I'm doing my best. So yeah, we'll try that again, shall we? Oh my God, what is going on today? 4 whips, 4 projects I've worked on throughout the last month. 3 of those were existing whips, 2 of them are Wipgo calls, and 1 of them was a new start, which is nearly finished. One of those 4 as well, which I might as well show first, was a fully finished object. I managed to get this finished. So, yes, this is the C word, Christmas. But I started this over Christmas, and I didn't manage to get it finished over the festive period. But I wanted to get it off my whip list, because I knew it was going to be quite a simple, well, not simple, quite a quick finish to get off my wish list. Whip list. Oh God, the English is not English in today, guys. I'm really sorry. And this is, it's just labelled as kitty, but I've been calling it Christmas kitty. And this is a Mill Hill kit. As I say, the lighting's not great today, but I think you can see the shine from some of the beadwork and stuff on there. But yeah, I managed to get the kitty finished, and it's quite big. I mean, if I put my hand behind it, I know I've got tiny hands, but it's about nearly the same size as my hand. It's quite big, so I didn't want to have it with a hanger on it. So I've literally just backed it in a piece of self-adhesive felt and cut it out, and we'll have it just as a little standy, a little stand-up. So there is my Christmas kitty, my fully finished for this month. I managed to do French knots for the eyes as well, and they turned out quite well, because I hate French knots. I've always hated French knots. I find them really hard. But yeah, I managed to do them, and it turned out quite well. So we'll do a little bit of a close-up there. He's so cute. He's so cute. And the back stitch and the French eyes really, really do make it. They absolutely make the face. It just looks so lifelike and realistic. He's so adorable. But yeah, that was my FFO. So, we'll do the new start, which is now a whip. Because I said I was going to do this, and I've been saying I was going to start this for a while. And it is, let me get it out, Halfway Happy by Heartstring Samplery, which is a Stranger Things inspired cross stitch. And I was saying last year that I was going to start this on Stranger Things Day at the beginning of November. Then I was going to start it when the new series came on, and none of those things happened. So I actually started this on the 1st of January after we had watched the very, very final episode. I started it then. So I've got quite a ways through. Oh, hold on, let me get the bag to put behind it. So here is my progress. I am nearly done. So I did all of the top with the trees in the forest first, and Elle and the Eggo sun. Then the writing, which is different coloured writing on the top and the bottom, and then the Demogorgon and the trees. I think I've got 2 more trees left at this side, and then there are just kind of dotted around white stitches for like the dust or the ash or whatever it is, I can't remember, that floats around in the upside down. So yeah, that is very, very nearly finished. I'm really, really pleased with it. It looks lovely. And this is on, oh, I can never remember what count it is. Let me look on. So it's not the called for fabric, but it is the same count. So it's a 36 count. And it is, I believe it's a Zweigart, it's dove grey or something like that. It's not showing up very well, but you can see a little bit here. It's kind of like, it almost looks a bit like a cloudy sky. And that's why I chose this one for this project. You can see it a bit up this side as well. It's just a bit like a cloudy sky, which I thought would be really, really good for this project. So I'm hoping to get this finished this week. Oh, it might look a bit better actually without the bag behind it. But yeah, I'm hoping to get this finished this week because I am at the Floss Friends retreat in Rotherham this week. I managed to snag myself one of the last minute places that became available. So, and atelier framing is going to be there on the Sunday. So, if I can get this finished in time, which I think I should be able to, I might take this and leave it with, I'm so sorry, the lady from Atelier Framing, I have forgotten your name, I do apologise, and leave it with Atelier Framing to have this as my first professionally finished project, and then hopefully have it displayed, oh I can't do it, somewhere up here near my Hellfire Club picture. So let me just pop everything back in my beautiful Stranger Things canny little fox bag. It had to go in the Stranger Things bag, didn't it? So that's that. And the other two things I've been working on this month were my Wipgo calls. So where are we? Because I've got my Stitches Almanac. Look at this. I have been tracking every single day, and I have stitched every single day of January so far up to the 26th because I've been at work all day, but I will definitely be stitching tonight. So I have written in there every project that I've worked on every day. Let me have a look. So first Wipgo call was number 2, which was Labyrinth, which is, sorry for the rustling, artwork by Belizabeth Guerrero, charted by Thread Geeks, and this is what it will look like when it's finished. It's so stunning. I've seen pictures of it by people that have completed it, and it's just amazing. I love this piece of artwork, but I love how it's been charted because there's not a lot of like heavy background. There's literally detail and things from the film all over it, so it's absolutely gorgeous. I haven't done much on it, but I do love it. So that's what it'll look like when it's finished. Here is a picture of where I was at the beginning of the month. And, oh, this is on a really, really big, didn't plan this very well, did I? Here, I have still got a thread attached. Let me fold that back a little bit. And here is where I am now. So, bit more done up here in this top corner, but mainly I was focusing on getting a little bit more. Why has that just gone ridiculously bright? Wow. Crazy. So, but I've been trying to get a lot of the white on white border done across the top here. So that I can come across the top with the pattern and hopefully get to Jareth's hair, because in some of the border, I think it's a bit further along here, his hair starts poking up into it, and then down here is like the crystal ball that's got the owl in, and then his hands holding it, and oh, so good. I've also got a Labyrinth themed needle minder. I've got Babe with the Power needle minder, which I can't remember where I got that from, but yeah, there is my progress. Oh, I should have said, I haven't got any stats for Halfway Happy because it's paper pattern. But for Labyrinth, so far this month, I have done 1,218 stitches, which is quite good for me. So that brings me up to 3,254 out of a total of 139,968, which puts me at 2.3%. So yeah, that's not even 2.5%. So I'm hoping, because all of my big whips and full coverage pieces like this are on my Wipgo board. Is it twice? Have a lot. 1, 2. Yeah, twice. They're all on there twice. Then I've got some, I'm going to change my Wipgo board a little bit. I was going to talk about this later, but I might as well talk about it now. I'd already changed it because I'd put new starts on and I'd put what new start to put on. I didn't like that idea. So I've taken off which one it was and I've just put new start. But then a couple of the projects I've put on, namely, where are they? Halloween Fun and, what's the other one? Garden of Halloween Boy. They are not going to take very long to finish. And they are Halloween projects. So I put them on thinking I want to get them finished this year. And then I was like, yeah, but I want them finished by Halloween. What if those numbers don't get called until after Halloween? So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take those two off my Wipgo board and I'm going to have them as free choice. Same as number 13 in the middle is free. So I'm going to have them as free choice. How many new start ones have I got on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Might change a couple of the new start ones to free choice as well, because I've really enjoyed working on some of these projects now I've got them back out. It's amazing. When you actually start working on a project again, you realise what you loved about it. Who knew? So, Labyrinth will definitely come out once again this year. It might come out more than that if I decide I want to work on it when I've got a free choice call 1 month, something like that. So, I am going to take the time to put this back in this huge padded bag from Michelle at Stitchmania Stash, because I like to keep things nice and tidy. And you know, you've seen the sofa at the side of me. You know I make a mess and I just throw things all over the place. So if I can put things back in their project bags, more the better. So that was Labyrinth. My other Wipgo call was, what number was it? Number 7, which was Blue Geisha, which is a pattern by Joan and Elliott. And there is what it looked like when it's finished. It's so stunning. So stunning. This is the one I'm really proud of my progress on this month. I have worked on this one more than I've worked on Labyrinth, but my Wipgo goals, I haven't set myself stitch goals because some of them are paper patterns, which Blue Geisha was a paper pattern. But then over the weekend, I was at a bit where 4 pages crossed and I was really struggling with the paper pattern. So I stumped up the cash and I bought it again in PDF version. So I didn't have stats for Blue Geisha before, but I do have stats for it now. So I've really enjoyed working on this one. As I've said, my goals for Wipgo, I'm not setting myself stitch goals or targets or anything like that, or time targets. It is literally just to work on them. So what I was going to do originally was 1 week on one project, 1 week on the other project. 3rd week go back to the first project, 4th week go back to the second project, sort of thing. Which I kind of have done that a little bit. I have done a bit on Labyrinth, but Blue Geisha has really drawn me in and hooked me this month. So here is where I was before. And if I remember rightly, there was a tiny little bit of dress, and then it was just part of the parasol. Wait till you see this, people. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong bag. That's not helpful, is it? I'm going to get it out. I'm going to take the needle minder off because I don't want the needle minder flopping around while I'm showing you. But I'm going to hold it up with this big bag that Labyrinth in as well. Look at that progress! I'm so pleased with myself over the amount of progress I have made on this project this month. So you will have been able to see, oh, that's better lighting. You will have been able to see from my before picture, the parasol wasn't even finished. So I've got the parasol finished. I've got all the flowers finished up in this corner. And I've even started on her hair and her face. Yeah, this one, after I got it out and started working on it again, and especially when I bought the PDF pattern and got it in Pattern Keeper, this one has really sucked me in this month. So yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. And this fabric is just stunning. This is called Serenade by Pole Stitchers. And it's just so gorgeous. Right, I'm going to try holding it up without the bag behind it, so I can hold it up a little bit better. There we go. It's where I've... Oh, and it's gone really weird and light again. I think it's the camera on my laptop that keeps going wrong. There we go. So yeah, look at her beautiful face and the flowers in her hair. And I'm going to fold it over a little bit so I can look at that parasol. Just the colours in it and the flowers. And I will say, yes, there are gaps. That is for where the metallic thread, the Krynic, will go, and the beads as well. So yeah, I'm so happy about my progress on this project, and I'm almost loath to put it away in a week's time to start my new Wipgo numbers, but just try and fold it up a little bit so I can hold it on screen a bit better. But I'm very, very excited about February's Wipgo numbers, so I'm very excited that these two projects have been called. Oh, please stop. I just want to hold you up better. There we go. So that's where you can see the amount that I've actually done this month. As I say, I've only just bought the PDF version and put it in Pattern Keeper this past weekend. So I haven't, in fact, it was only yesterday. Was it really only yesterday or was it Saturday? Hold on, bear with. Let me have a look. No, it was Saturday, but I didn't work on it yesterday. I only worked on Halfway Happy yesterday. So I was trying to get that finished. So, stats then for Blue Geisha. I've got no before stats because I wasn't putting in tiny little bits that I'd done and then doing stats and that. No. So I just transferred all of my progress and marked it off on Pattern Keeper and thought I will start from afresh now from Saturday. So I have done 7,513 stitches out of a total 24,609, which takes me to 30.53%. So I've done some really, really good progress on that. You can tell just from the before and after pictures how much I've actually done on it and how much I've loved working on that this month. So, but as I say, she will be coming out again. I might work on her again this month. Oh, let me put my needle minder back on before I forget. I might work on her again this week, sorry, not this month, because obviously Wipgo numbers, we don't start on them until the 1st of February. I know we can start on them whenever we want, but I'm going to try and stick to not starting on my projects until the 1st of the month. So she might get a little bit more. She might get a little bit more done over this next week. So they are my 4 projects I worked on. Purchases. Oh dear, oh dear. Right. I bought quite a bit of stuff over Christmas. If you watch my last video, my big DMC chest with the 500 threads in came not long after I'd filmed that video. I'm not going to bring it up here because it's absolutely massive and huge. I have sorted it all out. I'll pop a few pictures in here of where I've sorted it out. So I sorted them out by number order across all of the drawers, and then in the top where the lid lifts up, I have put any of the sort of non-standard DMC threads that I've got, any spares that I've got, so I've only put one of each colour in all the drawers. Any that I've got multiples of, I've put them in the top. And I've put my Cottage Garden sampling, not Cottage Garden samplings, Weeks Dye Works and... Oh my God, what's the word? Weeks Dye Works and Classic Colour Works. Wow, brain not working. Weeks Dye Works and Classic Colour Works are in the top as well. So I've popped a few pictures in there for you to have a look at. So that was one thing that came. I also received the Cotton and Twine December box, which is the lovely Winter Owls pattern. I haven't started this and I'm not planning on starting it yet. I might leave this as part of my seasonal stitching for later on in the year. So that's that. The January box I opted out of. It's a lovely Stitch Rovia pattern. Don't get me wrong, it's absolutely beautiful. It's just not really my cup of tea. So I opted out of that one. So I'm not getting the January box. What else did we get? Oh, I got another canny little fox bag. Of course I did. I mean, look at it. It's a gorgeous bee girl. It's one of the gorgeous girls dressed as a bee. And look at this beautiful checkerboard gold bee pattern. Oh, I had to get it. And I haven't got one of these style bags as well with the 2 zips. So it's a padded one, and it's got the big pocket there, and then it's got the smaller pocket to put other things in that I put some scissors and things in. And this is one of my new starts. This is the pattern that my husband bought me for Christmas. Gorgeous another Oriental lady pattern that my husband bought me for Christmas. Let me just show you. I had to buy a massive, huge ring to put all of the colours on. But look at this. There are so many beautiful colours. I'm not normally a pink person, but I really, really like it. And I love the colour palette. So I've really, really had to stop myself from starting this already, because I really, really do want to start that one. Purchases, what else did I get? I mentioned this in the last video. I got FOMO, fear of missing out, when Thread Geeks were retiring most of their collection in December. As I've said before, I love the Belizabeth Guerrero pieces that they've chartered. I've got the Labyrinth one, I've got a Daenerys Game of Thrones inspired one, and I have now got the Mummy as well. I love the Mummy film, and I didn't want to miss out on it and never be able to get it again, so I treated myself. And I'm really desperate to start this as well, because apart from border, it's going to be these little blue scarab beetles in the corner that you start with first. Oh, so excited. I just look at the threads. Oh my God, there are so many. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Can't wait to start that. Another thing that I got that I forgot to mention in my last video, I was always waiting for it to arrive. I ordered my first Letty Stitch kit. I've never had a Letty Stitch kit before, and I know people say that they're really, really good. So I ordered Letty Stitch kit, and I ordered Hearts Over Kings, which it didn't say in the description, and it doesn't say anywhere officially, but that is House of the Dragon inspired. That is definitely Daemon and Rhaenyra. And I am a bit of a Game of Thrones universe nut. I haven't watched A Night of the Seven Kingdoms yet. I have subscribed to Now TV for it especially, but I haven't watched the first 2 episodes yet. And there's a reason for that, and I will all will be revealed in the life updates that are coming soon. But yeah, I have got that to start as well, which is on, it's 29 by 43 centimetres, it's 16 count Ada, and it's got all the pre-sorted threads and everything with it. So yeah, I'm really excited to stitch that. That'll be an interesting start as well, because I normally start in the top left-hand corner. So it'll kind of like be this building up here, which will be quite good. But yeah, that arrived. Really want to start that as well. What else did I get? What else is on my... Oh, I forgot to get some stuff out. I might have to disappear for a moment. I get the Cottage Garden Samplings, A Year in the Woods 2 patterns on auto ship from Rachel at Talking Dog Stitchery. So this is the latest one, which is the Bobcat. But then if you have a subscription or an auto ship from Rachel, you can use a special code so that if you get anything else, she doesn't charge extra postage. She'll just wait and post whatever else you've ordered with your subscription. So I got, and I mentioned this in the last one, I got Christmas Parade pattern. I fell in love with that when I saw it at the Floss Friends retreat last year, and I kicked myself that I didn't get it. So I treated myself to that with a little bit of my Christmas money. I've kitted it up as well. So that will be ready to start later in the year to hopefully get done for Christmas. And I also saw this. And it's a Christmas Carol themed cross stitch. And it says, Marley was dead to begin with. Now, I've read most of A Christmas Carol. I had to read it for uni when I did English literature a few years back. And really enjoyed it. But you will know, if you joined us over Flossmas, if you join me over Flossmas, that mine and my youngest, the first film that we watch during the festive season every year is A Muppet Christmas Carol. It's the best version of A Christmas Carol, and it's the best Christmas film. I won't take any arguments about that. So this was in the sale on Talking Dog Stitchery, so I got that as well. Right, see, I think I've got one of the things, but not another. So this is these that I've got now to show off from my purchases and acquisitions, kind of leading to plans a little bit. Bear with 1 second, it's only in the drawer over here, the thing I forgot to get. Oh, well, it's supposed to be in the drawer over here. Where's it gone? There it is. I'm back. I was a bit obsessed with Mill Hill bead kits last year, and I still am. And because you'll have seen it over Christmas and in my autumn videos and things, I've got a little twig tree that's on our window ledge in the living room, and I like to hang my decorations and things on it for the season. But now that autumn and winter's gone, I've got nothing to put on it. And my husband keeps saying, what are you going to put on your tree? Because it looks boring being really, really bare. So I have ordered this lovely seahorse kit from Buttons and Beads to do in the summer. But kind of going on to plans a little bit here, I've gone a little bit mad with Buttons and Beads kits. Yeah. I decided to try out 123 Stitch because a lot of people recommend it and say that, you know, their prices, especially on Mill Hill kits, are a lot cheaper than buying them over here in England, because 123 Stitch is in America, and their postage is really, really reasonable as well. So I managed to get, I think it was 4 Mill Hill kits for the equivalent, and the shipping for the equivalent of about like £40, and one of them is a full size Buttons and Bead kit. And you can't actually get a lot of these over in England. I've looked at a lot of places that sell Mill Hill kits and I couldn't find them in stock anywhere. So, which was the first one? This one, and sorry for all the threads and things sticking up, but I have already sorted all of these out, ready to start. So, let me show you what I do. I have got these little plastic thread holders, and I sort all the threads out, write the thread numbers on and the name of the kit in case it falls out and gets lost. And then I sort all the beads out into their individual bags and label them up as well, so that they are all labelled up with their numbers, so that they're all separated and labelled up ready to start. And I have done that with all of these Mill Hill kits that I've bought. I've been doing it over the last few nights, because what I am planning on doing is, oh, hold on a minute, I'm trying to get this back in properly so I don't make a mess of it. In February, I will be working on my Wipgo numbers, but in an effort to try and sort of, I'm just going to move the camera around, get a little bit of something on the side of the Kallax here that's like mainly behind me when I'm doing filming and what have you, and to get some things on my window ledge that are a bit more spring and summery, I am going to do February. I'm sorry, I know that's really, really cheesy. My daughter laughed at me as well when I mentioned it. She was like, wow, that's really corny. I'm like, I know, but I couldn't come up with anything better. So I have got a lot of bee kits, and I've bought a lot more of the Buttons and Beads ones and the Mill Hill ones. So I am going to do February, which is where I am going to work on my Wipgos. But when I'm not working on my Wipgos, because my Wipgos are quite big projects, and if I'm in bed at night for an hour before I go to bed watching a bit of telly, I don't want to have a massive big full coverage project. I like to work on something a little bit smaller, which is why I like Mill Hill kits. So this one is Beehive House. So what I am going to plan on doing is in February, I am going to see how many bee projects I can get either stitched or started. Because some of the smaller Mill Hill ones, when I'm off at the weekend and I'm not working, I've managed to get one of these done and finished in like a day or two. So it's not going to take me long. I mean, the Christmas kitty, that's taken me not even the whole month of January. And I'd already started and done a little bit of it before, and I've not worked on it every day. So they do not take a long time. So I've ordered quite a few bee-themed Mill Hill kits. And in February, I am going to be working on alongside my Wipgo project, some of these bee-themed kits to try and spruce up my living room display a little bit. So that's Beehive House, that's the first one. Then we have got Honey, which is just a lovely little bee with a blue background. Really like that one. Then we have got, this one is called Bee Gnome. So he's a little bee-themed gonk. I thought he was really, really cute. That's that one. Then we have got Honey Pot. I thought that was really cute and really, really different. It's almost like well, it is an ornament because I'm going to be hanging up, but it's almost like like a vase or a decoration or something like that. So that one's Honey Pot. And then lastly, this one's not been fully sorted out yet. I need to sort the beads out. Oh no, I've opened it the wrong way around. Oh, bear with. Oh no, I haven't. You can only open it at the bottom, right? And I have to take the threads out so I can close the packet up at the bottom so that I can show you it because it was upside down. This one is Honeybee, and I've had my eye on this and wanted this one for ages, but it's been out of stock everywhere in the UK. So I have managed to get it on 1, 2, 3 stitch. So obviously that one won't be hung on my tree. I will get a frame for that when it's done. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 bee ornament mill hill kits, and then 1 button and bead kit. I've also in my, let me grab it, I've put all my kits on top of it. In the back of my planner, I've listed all the bee stitching that I've got. Look at all them. It's crazy. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5 bee kits there. I've got a little bee cross stitch that goes on an easel that I bought. I've got the June bees from Cotton and Twine that I picked up from the D-Stash table. I've got Cornflower Bee from Little Stitcher Shop and the Queen of the Bees from Little Stitcher Shop. I've not added it onto this list, but I think I've also got Poppy Flower Bee from Little Stitcher Shop. I've got I Would Rather Be Stitching from Primrose Cottage. I've got the Be Kind pattern from Love Poppet. I've got Honeybee Market from the World of Cross Stitcher magazine. I've got a bee cushion kit from Trimmits. I've got a printed bee kit that I bought from Shein when I had some vouchers. I've got Bothy Threads Flight of the Bumblebee, and I've got a little Do Crafts Be Happy kit as well. So I've got all that bee stitching to do. So during February, if anyone would like to join me in stitching some bee themed cross stitches during February, I will start a hashtag. I might pop it down here at the minute. I will be posting my progress on Instagram and I will use the hashtag February. If anyone would like to join in, I would absolutely love you to join me with stitching some bee themed goodies over February. So, what else have we got to talk about? I think it's just plans now. So I've already talked about February, where I'm going to be stitching my bee kits. My two Wipgo numbers for February are 5 and 22. So number 5 for me is Cabinet of Curiosities, and number 22 is The Fisher King by Long Dog Samplers. Cabinet of Curiosities is by Clouds Factory, and I'm really excited because I've really been wanting to stitch on those two projects. I'm glad that they've come up. I'm not going to show pictures and things now. I'll do that in my next video, probably beginning of February. As I've said, 2 of my projects on my Wipgo board, I'm going to take off my Wipgo board and put free choice in instead. One of them, I have brought it over. Where have I put it? See, I make such a mess when I film these videos. One of them is Halloween Fun, which is another Mill Hill kit from Buttons and Beads. So I'm going to be working on that one, trying to get that done this month as well. But here is where a big but comes in. If you've watched my first introduction video and some of my other videos, you'll know that I only picked up cross stitching again last year because I mainly was a knitter and a crocheter, but I had to stop doing them because of carpal tunnel syndrome starting in my right hand. I've mentioned before that I've been backwards and forwards to the doctors, had a nerve conduction study. I had an MRI a couple of weeks ago. I actually went back for my follow-up appointment yesterday. And what they said was that my MRI has shown up that there is some compression of the carpal tunnel. If you don't know much about it, the carpal tunnel is basically a tunnel that runs down your arm and into your wrist. And it houses the nerves that mainly affect these two fingers and your thumb and your hand, if I remember rightly. In some people, that tunnel either gets inflamed or it gets compressed. And then the nerves touch against the walls of the tunnel, which is what causes the numbness and the pain and the tingling and things in your hand. As I say, my MRI has shown that there is some compression, so some squashing of the carpal tunnel. But I was a bit of a mystery because the tests that they do in the clinic to bring on the carpal tunnel symptoms weren't bringing on the carpal tunnel symptoms. But I am having symptoms. If I lay on my hand funny sometimes, or I don't wear my splint at night, I will wake up in the morning and my hand will be completely numb and tingling for about half an hour or so. If I use knitting needles, I feel like I'm going to sneeze, so I apologise if I do. It's coming. Excuse me. I'm sorry if that was really, really loud on the microphone. I didn't want to pause it and it'd be really, really weird. So I apologise if I just deafened anyone. But yeah, I am having symptoms. If I knit or crochet, I can't do that for very long without my fingers tingling and my hand hurting. Painting, sometimes picking up a pen and writing at work, which I have to write quite a lot with working in a primary school. So they were umming and ahhing a lot at my appointment yesterday, saying that I'm obviously having symptoms, but they can't induce the symptoms. You know, they can see on my MRI that the carpal tunnel is compressed. So the nerve conduction study I had done was in October 2024, so well over a year ago. So they weren't sure about whether they were going to send me for the nerve conduction test again. The guy who I saw went to get the main consultant. He came back in, asked me again to go through all my symptoms and everything, and said, well, if it's what you want and you're happy with it, we will just put you down for surgery. So I am having surgery on my hand. They've said it will be quite soon. This appointment was at 11 o'clock yesterday morning for my follow-up. I signed the consent form and they talked through the procedure and everything with me while I was there yesterday. At about 4 o'clock when I got home yesterday afternoon, I had a phone call from the hospital to book me in for my pre-op assessment appointment, which is on next Monday, the 2nd of February. They've said there, when I go for that pre-op assessment, I will get a date for my operation on my hand, and they've said it's looking likely that it will be at the beginning of March. So I'm hoping that I can get some stitching done throughout February and get something done in February, because if I have my hand operated on at the beginning of March, I'm going to be out of action for at least a couple of weeks with stitching and things like that. So I'm glad I'm finally getting it done. I'm glad it's going to be soon and I'm not going to have to wait ages, because hopefully I will be able to write for long periods of time. I'll be able to knit and crochet and things again, but it is going to put me out of action for a while for stitching, because it's my right hand and I am right-handed. So I might actually even see if I can teach myself to stitch left-handed. My left hand is a bit dumb. It's not very good at all. Some people can manage to train their non-dominant hand to do things. Mine is a bit stupid and I can't really do that, but I might have to try. Otherwise, I am going to be absolutely... Oh, sorry. My watch has just buzzed. My husband sent me a message and he's now just said there might be a problem with me getting back from my pre-op assessment appointment on Monday, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. That's not a problem. I'll be able to sort something else out. So yeah, I'm going to be having surgery on my hand in the next couple of months. It's a good thing. It is a good thing. I do need it doing, and I'm glad they are doing it and not putting it off, because my symptoms can't be induced in the normal ways, and because it's not affecting me on a daily basis, but like I said to them yesterday, it's not affecting me on a daily basis because I know what triggers it and what causes it, and I don't do those things. Yes, I have to write when I'm at work, but I will write a little bit, then I will do some stretches and things or do something else, then I will go back to writing. I have taught myself to sleep with my hand in a different position at night. I've not really knit or crochet apart from doing my advent calendar back in December for over a year, and they were the things that were mainly triggering it. So they have accepted that the only reason I'm not having really bad symptoms with it now is because I am making adjustments myself to not trigger it, if you get what I mean. And they appreciated that, and they appreciated when I said, look, it is bad when I do get it, and I want to be able to go back to being able to knit and crochet. Yes, I love cross stitching, don't get me wrong, but I want to be able to knit and crochet again. I've got so much yarn and so many patterns and things upstairs, it's unreal. I don't want to just have to give them up. And they understood that, so they were like, yeah, you know, with my MRI showing some compression and with me saying that I was having to stop doing things. And it's been ongoing I've been backwards and forwards to the doctors for about a year and a half now. And the pain's been, and the tingling and numbness has been getting bad for like the past 2 years. So I'm glad I'm getting it done. But yeah, it might just put me on hold for a little while with crafting and cross stitching and things. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens, and we'll have to see how we go. I might even put a little video when I've had it done of my big sympathy bandage. So if you don't see any videos from me for a while, that'll be why. But I am hoping to come back with another video in a couple of weeks' time after I've been to the Floss Friends retreat. I can show you my final progress on my January Wipgo numbers. I will be showing off my February progress. Please, 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 if there's anyone that's got bee-themed kits out there and you want to join me, please comment down below, join in, use the hashtag February on Instagram. I would love to see all your projects and things. Wafting my hair around all over the place now. But yeah, when I get a date for my operation, I will let you all know. I will film a video before I have it done, and then I might just film a quick little short when I've had it done to say, oh my God, help me, I can't craft. I've already said if it's the beginning of March, my husband's birthday is at the beginning of March, and he's got like 2 weeks off at the beginning of March, which will be really good for him, like taking me and picking me up from day surgery and what have you. But I've said to him, you're going to have to help keep me occupied, otherwise I will go stir crazy. So it's going to be at least a week, possibly 2 off work while the wound heals, and because I can't use my right hand and I'm right-handed, obviously I work with small children, it's a bit of a hazard and a bit of a risk. So luckily we've got loads of board games, and I will still be able to play board games. So I've said if I'm off with it when he's off for his birthday, we will be playing lots of board games to keep me sane. So I think that's everything from me for now. We're at nearly 55 minutes. I've rambled on for a long time. Daughter must have been done in the shower ages ago, and she's not bothered coming downstairs. She's stayed out of my way, which is nice. I've got to get all this tidied up, go and get myself in my nice warm fleecy pyjamas, and then I might do a little bit more on Halfway Happy. So thank you for watching. If you've just stumbled upon my video and you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing just to grow my channel and my reach a little bit. Please check out the Flosstubers that I've linked down below, because I know they would like a bit of love as well. If you are going to the Floss Friends retreat in Rotherham on Saturday and Sunday this week, let me know in the comments down below and come and say hi to me if you are. It'd be lovely to see you all there. And have a lovely couple of weeks stitching. Stay safe, stay nice and warm in this horrible weather that we're having at the minute, and enjoy what you stitch. Have some fun and enjoyment in your lives. Until I see you again, happy crafting. I don't normally finish with that. I've nicked that from Martin on Knit 365. I'm not going to start nicking your things, Martin, but I've gone off on a tangent. I've gone a bit mad now. My voice is going. I need to get in some warm pyjamas. I need to get out of these work clothes. Gone a bit crazy now towards the end. So until I see you all again, thank you for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you don't already. And I will see you all soon. Bye guys.